So when you look at the game, do you look at it for the evolution and say, oh, that's just where we're at right now? Or you're like, no, a lot of the guys have lost the art of what basketball should actually look like?
There's really no strategy because they first shoot threes and second shoot threes and third shoot threes.
Then the foul call comes. The step-back shot. Hauser strikes again. Game 7. Two of the NBA's oldest rivals go head-to-head.
Were you satisfied with the shot selection in that second half?
Here's the truth. The mid-range game is gone, dead, and coaches keep screaming the same thing. No mid-range shots, ever. Think about NBA legends from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, even the 2010s. Ask them about today's game. Regular fans hate it too. Their complaints? Always the same. Bad coaching, too many threes, way too much analytics and fancy numbers.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go.
Today, we look at one legend who can't stand the modern NBA, Ray Allen. Now here's the twist. You'd think Ray would love this era. Back in his day, he was a three-point machine, way ahead of his time. But no, even Ray Allen is calling out today's NBA, and that says everything. Basketball in 2026 has way too many threes. Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. Today.
And then we've lost post-up players. Bigs don't even have a place in the game anymore.
Right.
That to me is the tragedy, because now what we do is we have these guys that work in basketball offices that are analytic guys that sit here and say why we need to shoot more threes than twos. And they convince the upper management and everybody else that you should be, guys that never played the game, you should be shooting more threes than twos.
Today we look at one legend who can't stand the modern NBA, Ray Allen. Now here's the twist. You'd think Ray would love this era. Back in his day, he was a three-point machine, way ahead of his time. But no, even Ray Allen is calling out today's NBA, and that says everything. Basketball in 2026 has way too many threes. Now check out last year's playoffs. Teams that lived by analytics, they died by them too. The biggest example, Cavaliers versus Knicks in the East Finals. Cleveland didn't care about the moment or the matchup. They kept jacking up threes, no matter what. Then Kenny Atkinson dropped this wild line. He said analytically, they were actually winning the series. He kept talking about an expected score, saying they won 2 out of 3 by the numbers. But in real life, they lost the series. That doesn't make sense.
Analytically, I think we've won the I said 3 out of 3. We're 2 out of 3 in the expected. I don't know if you guys follow that. There's an expected score, and we won 2 out of 3.
That doesn't make sense.
So many coaches today lean on analytics like a crutch. They follow the numbers, the team loses, and guess what? Never their fault. Numbers become the excuse. But here's what people forget in the 2020s. Basketball is human. Players get nervous in big moments. They feel the pressure. Playoff basketball hits different, and no chart can capture that. Watch this clip. Harden fires a step-back 3. Good shot call. He drives the lane, kicks it back out, Mobley's wide open. In and out, so close. Now here's that wild quote again. Analytically, they won 2 out of 3 expected games. Confusing, right? Nobody follows that. Let's talk shot variety now, because it matters a lot. Ray Allen in his prime was a killer three-point shooter. That was his main weapon. But Ray could do more. He could drive, finish inside, and knock down mid-range shots too. He wasn't just a three-point chucker. He was a complete scorer. Look at his peak year, 2006-07. He made 1,186 field goals total. Of those makes, 36.5% came from 3, and 30.4% came from mid-range. That's a beautiful balance. Now keep that ratio in mind, about 37% to 30%. Compare it to LaMelo Ball's numbers from last year. LaMelo's threes made up an insane 53.7% of his makes. His mid-range shots, just 4.8%. That ratio is absurd. Now look at Anthony Edwards. He's more balanced, but he still leans hard on threes. Last year, 44% of Ant's makes came from 3. Only 10.9% came from mid-range.
So when I came in the game, you had some incredible pick and roll players. You had some incredible mid-range guys. It was insane. You could learn so much from these dudes.
Right.
And the game is just, we've lost that. And that's an art. And so what happens is one thing that I'm devastated about is all the big men that don't have a place in the game anymore.
Right.
Let's stop right there. Ray just named two lost arts in basketball, the mid-range game and the post-up game. Now sure, some guys still do it. Brunson and Durant can still hit mid-range shots, but those guys are the exception, not the rule. Most perimeter players have zero mid-range game today. And big men? Even the young ones barely post up at all. Check the whole league. Only 2 teams post up more than 5 times a game. Denver leads at 5.7. Houston's next at 5.1. That's shockingly low. Now rewind Denver back to 2016. That same post-up rate would only rank them 15th in the league. And Houston, second best today, would have ranked 24th back then. That's not good. Here's why. GMs and coaches build teams differently now. The classic post-up big man has basically disappeared. Look at the young star centers. Even the best of them barely post up. Alperen Sengun leads at 3.6 per game. Wembanyama only 1.5. Duren 1.1. And Chet a shockingly low 0.7. The days of Kevin Garnett, Chris Webber, and Dirk Nowitzki dominating the low post are gone. Analytics and modern coaching killed it.
Oh, that's not good.
Let's stop there for a second. When it comes to having different ways to score, most teams today, even the top teams, are way too one-dimensional. Look at last year's playoffs. 3 teams stood out for all the wrong reasons. The Cavaliers, the Celtics, and the Spurs. Their biggest weakness? Way too predictable, way too one-note. Not having different scoring options came back to bite them hard. Dig deeper and it gets worse. In the clutch, these 3 teams were brutal. Combined record, 7 wins, 14 losses. The Spurs were worst at 3-8. The Cavaliers next at 3-5. Boston went 1-1, though they only played 1 series. So why do all 3 share this problem? It's simple. They lean way too hard on three-pointers, especially late in games. Look at the clutch numbers. Boston attempted the most threes, but only made 25%. Cleveland ranked 4th, shooting 23.1%. The Spurs ranked 5th at 23.3%. Here's another thing these 3 teams share: stubborn coaching. Nobody wanted to adjust. Joe Mazzulla and Kenny Atkinson lived and died by the 3. Even in the finals, coaching barely changed the thing. One coach flat out said it: live by the 3, die by the 3. Some halves, 3s carried them to a 20-point lead. The next half, 3s destroyed them. Look at Game 4 in New York. First half, 76 points, up almost 30. They shot 20 for 47 from the field, over 50% from deep, with 14 threes made. When the 3 ball is falling, you're nearly unstoppable. When it stops falling, you're in big trouble. Second half proved it. Just 3 of 17 from deep. Only 2 threes made in the final 20 minutes.
When you're young and you're coming to the game, everybody's running the motion offense, and you're setting screens and backdoor cuts, and you're making 4 and 5 passes, and you get to see, it's like it becomes a machine. You see how a team works, and it's so, Princeton used to run that motion offense, and they always got a backdoor layup with Pete Carroll, and it was just like, man, they were so good because they cut hard, they set screens, and you couldn't take shortcuts. And that's basketball. That it's not about the one great player, it's about the sum of all 5.
Okay, this is Ray's last clip, but it might be the most important one in this whole video. Ray makes it crystal clear. Old school basketball had strict offenses and strict systems. Back then, if a superstar jacked up a bad pull-up 3 or a wild sidestep 3, coaches pulled them out immediately. Those coaches ran a tight ship. Watch old footage and you'll see it. Guys get wide open looks with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. What do? They pass it up. They swing the ball. They stay in the offense. That's what stands out about the old days. Players valued every single possession for the team. Now, look at today. Doesn't matter if you're a superstar, a role player, or riding the bench. Open look, shot goes up, no hesitation, no questions. Why? Coaching, analytics, and one simple belief: 3s beat 2s.